What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about all the untapped potential that Sonic Speed Simulator has. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so as you guys might already know, Sonic Speed Simulator is a vast, wide game with a lot of content that could be built upon. The devs just don't have freedom from Game Fam and Sega. I think if the devs had freedom, this game could turn into a masterpiece. Let's talk about the worlds and content that could be added to Sonic Speed Simulator to help it become a masterpiece. Okay, first we're going to talk about all the worlds. There is about 15 worlds in Sonic Speed Simulator right now, and a couple that come back every now and then, like Diamond Terminal that just came back in this new Fast Pass update, and even like Green Reef that was back from in the old SSS, or even Marble Zone that never got really finished, or Snow Valley. Those all could come back, or they could bring in a lot of new worlds, like maybe some levels from SA1, SA2, Heroes, 06, Forces, Colors, Unleashed. There's just so many games for them to build upon. I think if the devs were given enough freedom to build from certain games, this game could have a really big world and just have a lot of nostalgic worlds for a bunch of the OG Sonic fans. That is one thing that this game could build upon to tap into its untapped potential. Now, let's talk about all the characters and things that could be added to the game. There are so many characters in this game, it's kind of unfathomable. But they still have a lot of characters to add. Like, there's not a bunch of super skins that aren't reskins of other skins. Like, Super Sonic, that's not a reskin. But Shadow has 4 super skins. Metal Sonic technically has 2. Silver only has 1, but he's not even Super Silver. So if they brought in maybe like Infinite, or they just brought a bunch of new powerful super skins into the game with a bunch of new abilities, that would help this game with a lot of progression and maybe help some newer players get more super skins, because they're capped to Neo Metal Sonic right now, because no new player is going to want to do overclocked Metal Sonic, because he's 50,000 race tickets. That's a lot. And they could add just some more normal skins like Mighty and Ray. They haven't been added to this game yet, and they were in Mania, so it's not impossible. They could even add some more classic skins, like maybe a classic Supersonic, or like maybe Fang from the Sonic Superstars. I know he's not a classic skin, but it's definitely not his modern version. Or maybe even Trip. There's just so many skins that they could add to this game. And they even have the IDW comics to go off of. They have Tangle and Whisper in the game. Why can't they add it anymore? There's just so much. But Sega and Game Fam limit the devs. Those are the things that I think the devs could add if they had the ability to add their own characters. Now, let's talk about all the little things that they could add to make this game just have a lot more character. So as you guys might already know, in some worlds, there's just characters around doing things. Like Big in the first world, he's fishing. And there's characters at their own events where they're just doing things. I think if they added more things like that, it would help this game have a lot more liveliness and just be more creative and less bland. Because currently, the game is more like just solid worlds that you run around in. I want to see some movement. I want to see some activity from people who seem alive. There could be parties going on at the beach for summer skins, and there could be some fighting going on. Eggman could be plotting or fixing Metal Sonic. There's a lot of possibilities with just details and things going on around the map. So if the devs were able to do that, which they definitely are because it's not really against any of the rules, they could make this game a lot more lively. That's another feature that they could add to tap into the untapped potential of Sonic Speed Simulator. Let's get into the final topic. Okay guys, now it's time for the most important part of the video. We're going to talk about a new feature that could be added to Sonic Speed Simulator to make it a little bit better and have a lot more replayability. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so we've already talked about characters and skins and a bunch of things around the map that can make the worlds more lively. But now we're going to talk about all of the little mini games that you can play in Sonic Speed Simulator. You have Tornado Assault, you have Eggman boss fights, and you have Neo Metal Sonic boss fights. That's it. There's so much to go off of. They have so many villains in Sonic. They have all the Deadly Six. They have more Eggman robots. They have the Death Egg. They have Infinite that we've already fought, but they could bring him back as a fight where you could fight it with more than just yourself. You have to fight him with everyone, just like in Sonic Forces. Or they could even bring in like maybe Neo Metal Sonic, like the Overlord Metal Sonic. That'd be super cool, and you'd have to go super with 2 of your friends, just like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles did. And then you fight them, and then whenever you win, you get maybe like a fast friend of him or something. If they added more little mini games or adventures, just like Tornado Assault and the boss fights, it would help this game with replayability and things to come back and get. That's why I think they should add more little tiny adventures to this game to help it have more replayability. Okay guys, that's all I have, but I'm sorry if the video seemed a little bit repetitive or I seemed like a broken record. This is my first Sonic Speed Simulator video, and give me some feedback in the comments. Tell me if you like it, and tell me what I can change. Well, that's all I have. Bye-bye now.